Congratulations to Longwood and to Griff. Very hard played game by them, very physical, good execution by them. They're a good team. They're old, veteran team that has grown up through the years and learned how to win close games. With that being said, I haven't done this all year. I haven't done this all year. I want to tell you guys, and I hope you put this on our website, and Buck fans, I hope you listen to it. I hope you understand the character and the men that represent Charleston Southern this year. Not one of these kids chose these circumstances. Way back in August, we were picked third in the league, maybe September. Picked third in the league out of 11 teams, had the most veteran team coming back, us and Winthrop. Had close to 70 points coming back from starters. We're gonna had 4 seniors ready to go. Not many people in the country have 4 seniors that have been 4-year players because of the transfer. We were veteran. We were ready to go, and within 72 hours, we lose our starting backcourt, a 13-point-a-game scorer, and an all-freshman point guard who both had won starting positions. Then Ty Jones opts out, who's the hardest post player to guard in the league. It gives us an inside-out, veteran, senior post player. And so these young men who were recruited and had earned roles within our top 10 now became starters. And instead of having 4 seniors and tons of veterans, we were left with 2 seniors and a bunch of new guys. And a bunch of new guys who hadn't played significant roles. Jameer Moore, Shadarius Bowser, Sean Price, who are now playing significant roles. And these kids have battled as hard and fought as hard, for the most part, with a couple exceptions, of any team that's ever played on this floor. They simply don't have the experience, the know-how of our system. We put a system in July based on having DD, Ty, and TA. And in November, right around Thanksgiving, we had to change the entire system because we now have a different deck of cards that we're playing with. And so I want to praise these kids. The last 2 nights, they've held a very good Longwood team, who's top 4 team in our league, to 33%. Both nights from the floor, 33%. Gritty, tough defense. Tonight, they held a Division I team to 21% in the second half from the floor. A bunch of freshmen and a bunch of guys who have played backup roles, who are now starters. And so, why am I saying this now? Because as our season winds down, these kids deserve respect. They deserve respect. They have busted their tail day in and day out to represent Charleston Southern, to fight for Charleston Southern. And our record is not good. We have not met the expectations that we've had. But in every other area other than wins and losses, these guys have met our expectations. And so I'm proud of them. Hopefully this will never happen again. You'll never see a Charleston Southern team with this type of record. But these guys were dealt a pretty tough hand. I love them. I'm proud of them. And they went to war tonight. They battled tonight. That was as hard as we've played all year, after a game maybe last night where we didn't play as hard as we could. And so that defensive effort in the second half, I told them if we can replicate that this year, next year, and in the future, wow. One other thing. Whether Flanders Fleming, the preseason player of the year, will be voted the postseason player of the year, I don't know. But I know this. He's the best player in our league. And his effort tonight to lead a young group of guys and guys that are playing in new roles, there's nobody in the country tonight that played harder than Flanders Fleming, not one player. Did he play perfect? No. Did he leave his heart, his soul, every ounce of his being on that floor? Yes. And Flanders deserves to be recognized as one of the best players to ever put on a Charleston Southern uniform. And I'm going to speak that from here on out. So, has he had the senior season he wanted to as far as wins? No. But that young man has given his heart and soul where he could have played anywhere else in the country. He was so faithful and loyal to Charleston Southern. And I believe God has a master plan for him. And I believe in the end, Flanders will be better off for the season he's experienced. And you'll see him be an exceptional pro. That's all I got to say.
In the game tonight, you talked about that just tremendous defensive effort, and it kind of hurt you on the offensive end, didn't it? I mean, you just went through those spurts. You had 2 long routes.
Yeah.
You had good shots. The legs, the energy, you just didn't have it. And this was a game that you could have won.
Sure.
I mean, if you make a couple of shots, you win this game.
I mean, we held them to what? How many points? 62? 64? And 8 of those were free throws late? Yeah. I mean, these guys, if we make any type of shots, if we shoot 40%, we win by 10. Yeah. But what I challenged them was tonight wasn't that. I challenged them to step up to the challenge of becoming a team that will learn how to play hard. That we have had through this season, we have had to learn how to play hard. We've had to learn how to compete. Freshmen don't know how to compete. They don't know how to play hard for long stretches. They're learning new systems, and it's a whole new deal for them. And all of those guys were going to be in great roles for us. And then in 72 hours, with 2 season-ending injuries, the whole deal changes. And so Jaquavian just stood up tonight big. Emory Knox had some tough turnovers late. But that young man's played almost 40 minutes a game. And how is that? How in the world is that going to benefit us? What's going to benefit? He's going to be a freshman again next year. I mean, good gracious, how the experience that young man is. And Melvin Edwards, when he figures it out, my goodness, how good that young man's going to be. And so God has a plan. God has a plan. I will not blink. I'll get disappointed, but I will not get discouraged. I refuse to get discouraged. And we're going to see this plan unfold, and you'll never see another season like this out of Charleston Southern. Never. Never. It'll never happen again. We'll compete right back where we're supposed to be. We've always competed in the upper half of the league, with the exception of a couple years. And you'll see us right back there. So to answer your question, that defensive effort leads to fatigue on the offensive end, and just shots didn't go in. We're playing with 8 guys. And so, yes, you're right. You're accurate. As usual.
Make sure that gets in.
Yeah.